Okay. Let me introduce myself. My name is Roman. I'm from Ukraine. I work as a product analyst for a company called Penny Games. We created mobile game application for preschool children. And I'm on this position for more than 2 years. I transitioned myself from sphere connecting to social media management and so on. So if I can help you with your questions about starting career in data analytics, I will be glad to do it.
Awesome. Yeah. So I mainly just have questions in regards to like the journey of becoming data now, like data now, data going into data analysis.
Analyst. Mhm.
Um, just like how that looks in terms of like schooling, whether like certs are involved, just the job market in general. And I think that's somewhere where we can start. I have these sticky notes here. Let me just pull them up.
Mhm.
So I want to just know first, learn how did you get into data analytics?
As I said, I transitioned myself. So I decided I worked for 7 years in communications. So like we work with social media accounts for big companies in Ukraine, and with YouTube, Instagram, and targeting advertising and so on. So at some time, I decided that I'm tired of communication. I wanted to go to other sphere, and I thought about IT because, as all over the world and in Ukraine also, it is the biggest salary or in IT in tech sphere. And then when I have to choose what field in tech I have to choose for myself, I decided that it can be data analysis because I like data. I'm a very big fan of some visualization, some metrics. So, for example, when I run, I wanted to track myself, how much oxygen I use, and so on. So it's the same with the sleeping activity and so on. So I decided that it will be much easier for me to go especially to data and analytics sphere. Yeah. So then what I do, I quit my job. I start to look in some YouTube blogs from data people, try to find in job posting what discipline I have to know, like SQL, BI systems, statistics, A/B testing, and so on. So I write down it for myself, and then I start to learning it. And then after 3 months of this learning, of course, at that time I'm applying on some positions. I had interview, I had some rejections, and so on. And then after 3 months, I received my offers, and for now I'm working like 2 years in this year.
Okay. So it sounds like you did like build yourself like you did kind of like there's some self-teaching involved, um as well as you had some experience, like, so like I'm just trying to get like a feeling of like, was this like a lateral move, or like did you like learn these skills and teach yourself and then move up into that position?
I'm not correctly understand what's the first one. So yeah, I do it almost from self-education, and I watch some video with people who work in data science, data analysis, and so on. And then, of course, I try to tune myself. So, for example, I learn some statistics or SQL, and then I go to job interview. And on technical interview, my first technical interview was a disaster because yeah, I don't know at that time. I didn't know statistics very well, and then after every interview, I wrote down to myself, so what I have to learn better, what I have to pay attention more. And after this every job interview, even if it was not successful, I received some knowledge, so about myself, about how can I upgrade myself, my knowledge, and so on. So it helps with everything, but it's almost entirely by self-learning. At that time, I hadn't any mentor, and just trying and applying. And I believe it is the best possibility to know exactly what your level, what your weakest point, to go to job interview and understand it by speaking with someone, or by home test assignment. It is the same thing. So you try it, you have some problems, you try to solve it, then you receive some feedback from technical hiring manager, and you understand how good you know like SQL, Python, statistics, and so on.
Okay, yeah, that answers my question.
Mhm.
So because right now, I guess for more context, I'm looking for like a career change. I've kind of done this a couple of times, and I think everyone kind of knows the job market right now is like really not good, and people are finding like
Mhm.
jobs really hard, like getting out of college. Um, and so I was kind of looking for something that has more security in it, and so that's why I'm sort of kind of like wanting to talk to people who are in data analytics. Um, and so I guess is my next question. I just want to hear your thoughts on like the job market right now, um, mostly within respect to if people are hiring people who are doing data analysis.
It is hard, to be honest, for me to give you some advice about US job market because I look at I know very well a Ukrainian job market and possibilities there and with the US market. So I look through some, especially about in game dev sphere. There are a lot of not a lot, but there are some possibilities for you people. But I'm not eligible working in USA, so I just look at this possibility and that's also why I can say you. But it's depends. So I like only game dev industry. So I looked and I see in USA the biggest company hire data analyst, and I think in all the sphere in all the industry it is the same too. So it's depends. So maybe you have some sphere that you wanted to be, because in data analysis it is very valuable that you have some domain knowledge. For example, yeah, working in med tech, medical tech, or ed tech, educational tech, it is some have differences than working in game development sphere and so on, because there are some internal knowledge that if you know there, it will be better and you will be more valuable person on job market. Yeah, so maybe you can think what sphere you wanted to go, and if you have some domain knowledge in this sphere, you already will be better than other candidates, and it will be your, like say, unfair advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I when I was on ADP list and I was like looking through other people, like other mentors, it seemed that like
Mhm.
everybody was like just like totally booked. And I found that this one day you were here. So that's why I have all these questions in regards to I guess what I'm saying is it's okay if you don't know specifically
Mhm.
like US markets, like US job markets and that sort of thing. But I really just want to get your 2 cents on that. And so I maybe this would maybe I shouldn't ask this question, but I wanted to ask about like certifications and like bachelors and masters. I just want to know if like you see people who get hired doing like certifications, um, because to me that's like a trap, from what I understand. Like people who get like certifications and then think they can kind of easily walk into a new like career, a new role. I kind of wanted to hear your 2 cents on if that kind of thing is possible, or if it's more that if you want a job and you want it badly, then you go for the masters.
To be honest, about certification, you mean like Coursera certification and
Yeah,
so
or
on?
like Google certifications. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a good thing, but it is a good thing for your skills. For example, for now, I'm almost finished Google Advanced Certification in Data Analytics. This new one, because this is the last one, just Google Professional Certification that was two years ago. I finished it like 2 years from now. So it is not. Maybe there are some wrong expectations, because people maybe who finish this certification, they think that okay, for now company will hire me because I have this certification and it is good and so on. But it is you can finish this certification just for yourself, to have more skills, to have more knowledge. And in the certifications, there are some capstone projects that you also can use for your portfolio and so on. But it is not so valuable as your own portfolio, your own projects, and so on. So it is good stuff for you to upgrade your skills a little bit, but it is not something that you can show to company and company will say, oh wow, we wanted to hire this person because he has this certification. It is like this certification is like commodity. It is I see it a lot in people's for CVs, people's portfolios, so it is just nice to be, but it's not, you don't have to have some high expectations that it is helped you to receive an offer. In my case, it is always your own portfolio projects. It is always better to have them than use any certification.
That was
there is, if we talk about BI systems, so there are other certification like Microsoft, like a couple months ago, launched also their own certification in Power BI. And they have their exams in Power BI, and if you finish this certification, they give you like it costs this exam to pass this exam cost $160 in USA. But if you finish this Coursera their Coursera certification, they will give you a discount for 50%. So it's in this case like finishing this certification can help you to increase your chances to pass the certification and also to decrease the amount that you have to pay for these exams. I'm planning for in a couple of months to finish this certification and also to try to pass these exams. And also I know that Tableau have their own exams, something like this, so to prove. But it's not it's not have connection to Coursera. It's just from this company to prove that you really know this stuff, like Microsoft Azure's exams, like AWS from Amazon exams. So it's like these companies, these vendors who provide these cloud solutions, they give you the possibility to showcase, and also they earn from it because every these exams are paid.
Okay.
So it is so shortly, it is better to have the certifications than not to have it, but not think that it helped you a lot. It helps just to maybe increase some knowledge, and that's all.
Right. Yeah, and so that's sort of my goal, is sort of to like break into a new career, you know. And that was sort of my impression as well, that like some people tell me that like you can get certs and get a job, and I kind of just didn't trust that.
Yeah, I don't believe it also.
Yeah, I think it maybe was like true like 5-10 years ago. Those people got lucky, or they moved like adjacently. But then I guess like if, let's say, like data analytics is something I would like to pursue after like learning some more on it, would the recommendation be go to school, like go for like a graduate program?
I don't think so, because there are, even in USA, there are a lot of. I follow some like LinkedIn data influencers, and they didn't have their like their higher education, especially in data analytics. They have maybe some technical education. For example, I follow Carly Taylor. She works in Activision Blizzard for Call of Duty franchise as a data scientist. She had her higher education in chemistry. Yeah, we cannot say how much her technical education helped her in her job as a data scientist, but it's not exactly. She worked like with SQL, with some machine learning. She didn't learn it in high school. It's 100%. And the same with me. I had a civil engineering degree from university, and I can't say how much this technical education helped me in my day-to-day job, because I work with SQL, Power BI, A/B testing, statistics, Python, and I didn't learn any of this in my university. But also I work with numbers, I work with data at that time at university, and it also kind of helped me with my current position. So I more believe in some short courses. So my way is you wanted to learn some technology, you try some courses on Coursera, Udemy, you learn some basics in theory, and then you try to do some portfolio projects with this knowledge. So you learn SQL, you try to analyze some data set with the help of SQL. The same with Python. The same with BI system. So you learn how to create dashboards. Okay, you can grab some data set and try to create these dashboards, and you will receive a lot of mistakes. You try to solve them, you try to Google, to go to YouTube, and so on. So from real projects, you can much better and much quicker learn some data analysis skills. Because in university, for me, it is too long. For example, for me to receive my first offer, it took like 3 months. And in university, you can spend like a couple of years. And at that same time, maybe someone who learned by self-education or education already finished some courses, created some projects, received some offer, and then he or she receives experience much quicker than you.
Okay. So just so I'm clear, it sounds like what you're saying is like if you have like a technical degree, if you have some sort of university degree, you might not need something, you might need to not go to the graduate program, but you can start the basics of like learning it, like practicing on it and building a portfolio, and then that would make you viable to recruiter.
Yeah, I believe it is. And also, it's not even, I know, of course, it may be some outliers. So I know examples of people who didn't have any, don't have any even technical degree, but still by self-education, by learning by themselves, they receive their offers. So it's different story, different cases, and so on. But I believe that it is a lot of time you have to spend at university for knowledge that maybe will be not some fresh. So, for example, okay, you may learn some BI system, and at that time, after a couple of years, people will try to change to other technology, and you didn't learn it. So it is better to have these skills always learn. Because you never know what technology data analysts will use in 3 years, 5 years. For example, with ChatGPT, they have this feature, advanced data analysis, that people can use, and it is some tools that a year ago it wasn't at all. And for now, data analysts have to learn how to use this tool. And I think in a year or two, there will be much more tools for data analysts, and you have to learn every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess like with my situation as someone who's like looking to jump into a new career, I'm sort of guess what I'm playing with is like if I need to spend 2 more years in school to get that master's degree to make it in, like that's a decision I want to make right now. And so sort of what I'm sort of juggling is like, do I just start working kind of like what you're saying on a portfolio, or do I jump into like university? But to me, it sounds like you're saying don't worry about the graduate degree, but like start the self-learning process and like build off of like what you already have, what degrees you do have.
Yeah, I think like this, but also I wanted to give you some disclaimers that it is only my experience. So my
Mm-hmm.
advice is to go also on ADP list, people especially who work in US as data analysts, and ask them if they really, or even almost every mentor have their LinkedIn profile attached to their account, so you can see even without asking them what their higher education, what their specialty, and if it's really correlated to their higher education and this sphere to their current jobs. Yeah, because every people, as I said, I know people who have who have technical education and work as a data analyst. I know people who have not technical education and also work as a data analyst. So every story differentiate.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I really wanted to talk to like, well, basically, I saw you're the like only one who is available for like the next 2 weeks, and I wanted to talk to like someone now. So,
Mhm.
but I mean, this is like regardless, this is very helpful. Just getting a look into the whole thing. Um, okay, let me just go over my questions real quick. Um, so I guess we can start with like, you were mentioning like to like a good place to start is like sort of Coursera like certifications or just those classes Udemy. Um,
Yeah.
like would you recommend, so there's obviously a lot of programming languages involved. Would you recommend starting with a like Python, or would you recommend starting with like a certain one and then go into different skills? I guess like which Coursera like route or Coursera language should I be looking into?
As you want to go to data analyst sphere, you have to know two languages. It is first SQL. It is the most important skill that you have to have as a data analyst, because without knowing SQL, you can even retrieve to your database to extract some data and analyze it. You haven't any data set without knowing SQL. So it is the first and the main language that you have to learn. Then you have to learn some BI systems. It is two competitive BI systems like Power BI and Tableau. My advice is to learn both of them because it can increase your chances to receive an offer. There are a third one like Looker or Google Data Studio, but it is not so popular as I see it. Next one have to be some statistics. So it is like basics of statistics, but you have to know it, to learn it, especially when it's the companies that have their online product, like a mobile app, desktop app, or some e-commerce site, with the company that works in B2C, like business to customer segment, you have to learn A/B testing. And the A/B testing there consists of some statistical concepts, so you have to be familiar with it. What is like p-value, what is hypothesis testing, and so on. Next one, it have to be like Python, but it is not so like obvious. So a lot of company hire people even without knowledge of Python. And so on. I didn't talk about Excel or Google Spreadsheet. But it is also for me it is something like using computer or internet, so it's something that you have to learn at least on basic level, how you can build create some formula, how you can work with pivot tables, you can visualize something, because it is good tools for some quick visualization and so on. If we talk about some product companies that also have their mobile application, desktop application, so on, you also have to know product metrics. So it's like product management sphere, but also your job, if in product IT company, will be to help your product team to increase some metrics like conversion rate, ARPU, it is average revenue per user, and so on. So you have to know these metrics, how you can calculate them to help for your team to increase it. And also you will work for decreasing some bad metrics, and you have to understand what this metric consists of, how you help for increasing, for example, retention. You have to understand how this retention calculate and so on. So it is also very valuable to understand it, because people, even on technical interview, people can ask you, so what is LTV, what is ARPU, and so on. And I think that's the main stuff. Of course, it is different from company to company, so you have to understand this. And my advice is to look on some jobs position that you really like, and to write down for yourself what technology you have to know. But I think in 90% it will be this stuff that I talk about. Yeah, of course, some company may use some different tools that other company didn't use, and so on. Some company may have their internal tools that their developers created, and so on, but it is impossible to prepare for this. Yeah, but you have to know at least the most popular technologies, the most popular languages. But with programming languages, it is like SQL and Python that can help you.
Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. So, that's good. I wrote that down. And that about covers all my questions. Yeah, that covers it. Cool. Well, I'm good here. I mean, I think this put me on a good starting point. Definitely want to talk to some more mentors. Like you said, some good ones.
Just
I
to
think
see some other point of view, yeah, it is always valuable.
Yeah, but I do appreciate putting me onto Coursera and Udemy, those languages, and kind of getting to know better just how people are getting into this market. because I'm thinking that it's very competitive right now because job market's kind of bad. So I feel like a lot of people are going to be kind of in my position, like thinking, jumping into this field. But yeah, that does it for me. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
I also wanted to give you advice to look on Kaggle. I don't know if you heard about Kaggle.
I don't know if I've heard of that. How do you spell that?
Kaggle, Kaggle, like Kaggle. Yeah, so it is very valuable because there are a lot of data sets. So it is something, so any topic that you wanted to explore, so you wanted to create some portfolio project, I think you can find data set about this topic on this platform. And it is very valuable because if this data set popular, the other people already analyze it with the help of Python, and you can learn by watching their code, by reading their assumptions and so on. So it is very valuable. There are some competitions, but it is mostly more for data scientists, not for data analysts. And there have also some short courses on SQL, on Python, and connecting especially to data analytics. So you also use it. It is very valuable resource. So I use Kaggle, I use Coursera, Udemy for my education.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that one.
Mhm.
Well, that wraps up all my questions. So yeah, thanks, Roman. I don't know if you have
Yeah,
anything else for me, but this is a good start.
yeah. So feel free to reach to me if you will have additional question about, and if you try to research some stuff and will have no problem. In future, feel free to reach to me, and we can also talk about this stuff, about your problems, about something that need to be solved. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Bye.
All right, have a good one.